finding this new blood that was going to be tricky. The witch had not been much for family, or friends, or, if he was being completely honest, people in general. There was a daughter, he knew, a little girl with lopsided pigtails and an equally lopsided grin. He had seen pictures of her, pictures the witch kept hidden in a drawer among bits of broken candles, coupons for supermarket deals long expired, a small mountain of coins, things she no longer had use for or that weighed her down, things she had forgotten or wanted to forget. There were letters, too, slanted words written in deep blue ink, the paper old enough that yellow age stains had started to blossom at the edges. I know you don't approve, but he loves me and I love him, and we want to be together. We have our own home now. Wouldn't you like to come and visit us? Please write to me, Mama. I miss you. Don't you want to see your grandchild? The last one was newer, a rectangle of plain white tucked into a crinkly brown envelope bearing the witch's name. It said, "Do not contact us again." No, the old witch wasn't much for family. Instead, she roamed from village to village, sending the ghost out to cause all sorts of chaos in each one. And in the beginning, he'd loved it. There was a sort of dark pleasure in going about a village in his other form, that of a tiny, unassuming grasshopper, bringing bad luck wherever he went, in souring the milk while it was still in the cows, in emptying the fish traps without leaving a single hole in the weave of the net, so that the fishermen scratched their heads in confusion, in rotting whole fields of crops only on the inside, so that the harvester's hopes lifted at the sight of perfect-looking fruit, only for it all to explode in maggots and gloriously bad smells at the lightest touch. The ghost would look on his work with pride, like an artist admiring his own masterpiece, and chuckle to himself when the villagers came looking for the wise and learned witch, who nodded sagely, took the money they offered her to rid them of their curses, never letting them suspect she was the cause of all their troubles in the first place. Magically, everything would go back to normal, and before long the witch would disappear again, on the road to somewhere new, always before anyone figured out that the true curse had been her presence all along. But if he was honest with himself, as the years passed, he found it all very tiresome. There was a steady stream of customers at the witch's door, and if they weren't asking for a way to undo her handiwork, they were asking for the same petty meanness, the same tiny bad magics as all the others. A curse on this business, a pox on that house, an impossible to remove wart on that one's nose. Humans, the ghost thought, were just so unimaginative. He was hoping this new master, wherever they might be, would mean a change of pace, new management, as it were. He pictured the little girl with the pigtails and the wide grin, and he stretched out his thoughts, spreading them as wide as he could, listening for the familiar song of the blood calling to him, feeling for its comforting warmth coursing through fresh new veins, pumping through a strong new heart. He found her in a wooden house on the edge of green paddy fields, a house that rattled and shook when the monsoon winds blew. She was a woman now, tall and tired and pale. Her pigtails had been replaced by a severe bun, and her grin had long since vanished, but there was no mistaking that she had the blood. And yet, the ghost sniffed, puzzled. That familiar, calling song was faint and weak, sometimes fading out altogether. And even when her eyes were open, there were shutters behind them that remained very definitely closed. It was as if the light inside her had burned out, and nobody had bothered to replace the bulb. For a long moment, the ghost paused, wavering uncertainly between staying and going. On the one hand, the witch had been adamant. A pelesit must have a master to control his appetite.